Hello and welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog. My name is Melissa Galasso, and today we're going to talk about a topic that I think is going to be pretty interesting. It's related to some non-authoritative guidance, but something that we definitely come across as CPAs who work in the especially public accounting world that come across issues pretty frequently. And so the AICPA has put out an exposure draft here. It's really, I guess, an invitation to comment on materiality related to attestation engagements where the subject is not quantitative. So the beauty of doing attest work is that it's not a financial statement. It's pretty much any subject matter that's not a financial statement. However, when you're doing this work, for example, if you're doing an examination under the attestation standards, you have to give an opinion on whether it's materially misstated. And if it's not quantitative, there's been a lot of questions that have popped up. So let's take a look at what they're doing. So this came out in August. I didn't prioritize this because there's so much else coming out there, but I did want to talk about it. And comments aren't due until October 31st. We do have some time before they are effective. But again, when we look at attestation standards, it's anything that's not a historical financial statement. And so as a result, we can do it on census data. We can do it on pretty much anything. We do AUPs. We do examinations on tons of different topics. And this is a really big area for a lot of accounting firms. However, when things aren't quantitatively measurable, how do you know when something is or is not material when you're doing your performing and your reporting? So the AICPA put together a working group under ASEC, their Assurance Services Executive Committee, to talk about materiality and think about how do we consider materiality when something is not quantitative, and to help develop some non-authoritative guidance, which is what this proposal is all about. So when we think about it, misstatements are generally considered to be material if individually or in the aggregate, they could reasonably be expected to influence relevant decisions of intended users made on the basis of this subject matter. So that is one of those big elements there where we have to think about, well, who are the users? And we don't have to call them misstatement. It could be a deviation, exception, instance of non-compliance, right? So depending on what the subject matter is. But thinking about that, that's a lot of meat and potatoes there in terms of, okay, well, how do I know if something's material if it's not quantitative? And so the attestation standards tell us that you have to look at the common information needs of the intended user, right? The intended user really drives this. There's not a lot of guidance in the standards about it, given the variety of subject matter. Because there's such a diversity of subject matter, there's not a lot of examples, and there's just not a lot of guidance on what to do. So they've created this awesome discussion paper that gives you examples of some of the challenges, but also things that you can consider an application of materiality in various areas. So they actually take some of the different subject matter and show you how you can apply materiality in those circumstances. The goal here is to put out some non-authoritative guidance so that people who work in this field will have something to work with and a little bit more than the current standard offers. So they're looking for people who are preparers of this presentation that have to have someone come in and do the attest work. They're looking for practitioners who perform examination or review procedures, as well as investors and regulators who use this information. So if you are any of those, we would love to have you participate. The AICPA is really looking for a lot of feedback. Again, you have until the end of October to do it. So this is a brief one for us, a nice quick one. We've had so much movement going on lately. We've been very busy here on the Genuine Learning Blog, but I just wanted to thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope to see you on a future blog. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.